Okay. Good evening, everyone. Goeienaand almal. Molweni, dumelang, namaste. That's all I can do. Before I get into the crux of my talk, ek wil myself net gou voorstel. As Prof said, my name is Lovelyn Nwadeyi, and I'm currently a first-year student. I'm doing BA International Studies. I'm from a small town in the Eastern Cape called Queenstown. Vir die wat nie weet nie, dis 'n klein dorpie soos 2 ure van Oos-London. And I've spent most of my life in Queenstown. I went to Balmoral Girls Primary and then went to Queenstown Girls High, right through till matric. Basically, what I'll be doing tonight is to share my experience with you. I was very, very excited to come to Stellenbosch, and I was mostly excited to study the course that I'm going to be doing, that I am doing at the moment, because it's one of the most enjoyable courses ever. I was excited to meet new friends, or nuwe mense te ontmoet, to join different societies, maybe find a good kerel. Maar ek was beslis nie gereed vir die experience wat ek in die bos sou gehad het nie. Before I came to Stellenbosch, I had applied and was accepted at Pretoria and at UCT. And some of the older people that I knew encouraged me to go to UCT. Selfs my ouers het vir my gesê dat ek moet liewe UCT toe gaan. Ander mense het vir my gesê dat ek moenie soontoe kom nie, want ek wil dit nie, ek sal dit nie geniet nie. Others told me that there were just too many white people here, everything is in Afrikaans. So when I decided to come to study at Stellies, a lot of things went through my mind. I had to ask myself, what is it that I want where I'm going? And can the university I'm going to actually guarantee me those things? Now, besides the obvious answers that I want a good education and I want to study in a good environment, there was much more that was pertinent to me. I'm the kind of person that likes to get involved in things. Van my skool daar af was ek altyd iemand wat daarvan gehou het om in aktiwiteite en verenigings en sovoorts betrokke te wees. So vir my was dit ook belangrik dat ek die geleentheid kry om sulke goed te doen. I'm a debater myself, so for me on my list, just below getting a good education, was getting involved in the debating society. And seeing that the debating union at Stellenbosch is one of the best on the continent, my fate was effectively sealed. So dis basies die konteks waarin ek my besluit gemaak het om Stellenbosch toe te kom. Coming here though was such a huge culture shock. With no offense to anyone, I'd honestly never seen so many white people together in my life. And the only thing that actually made me remember that I'm in Stellenbosch was the English, Afrikaans and Xhosa translations of everything at the admin building. For my first 3 months here was ek regtig nie gelukkig nie en ek het gesukkel om gewoon te raak aan alles. Al het ek my naam opgesit vir verskillende societies en wat ook al, I really felt out of place. And coming from the Eastern Cape, especially a small town like Queenstown, where everything is just neutral and no one sees anything, you can hide, I really felt like I was trapped in a bubble in which I stood out like a sore thumb. But after I came back from the March holidays, I made a very conscious decision. I decided that if I was going to be at this campus and make a success of my experience here, then I needed to change my mindset. Ek het besef dat dis alle kwessie van my mentality en 'n kwessie van tyd before I would come to experience this campus as I really should. En dit was die oomblik toe ek besluit het om my attitude te verander. That was when I fell in love with Stellenbosch. Besides the fact that we have the most beautiful campus in the country, what I also came to appreciate at this university was the level of debate and intelligence that one can find within the student body. Most of my subjects are social sciences, so I have subjects like history, politics, English, social informatics. And so in these classes, because the core content of our courses is highly influenced by political occurrences, both in the past and in the present, or it's affected by different legislation and things like that, there's seldom a dull moment in our classes. En dis in hierdie klasse dat ek so baie leer en waardeer, nie net van die dissente af, maar ook van my medestudente. And I think this is mostly due to the fact that Stellenbosch as a town and as a university has such a strong, carries so much weight in terms of its heritage and its history. And thus whenever anything happens in Stellenbosch, there will always be someone who will make it a racial, cultural, ethnic or political issue. Ook die vlak van intelligente bespreking van die kant van studente en dosente af is net mind-blowing. I have really come to appreciate the level of intelligent discourse and debate that takes place inside and outside the lecture hall. And I think that the one thing you really want to be guaranteed of wherever you're going is to know that you will leave that place an educated, critically thinking citizen of our society. This university doesn't just train you to be a sponge that just only takes in information, but you actually learn to question things and analyze things, regardless of what you're studying. Maar om eerlik met almal te wees, ek moet vir almal sê dat die verskil tussen akademiese werk op skool en akademiese werk by hierdie universiteit is baie groot. At university, you actually work. And being at university requires a great deal more responsibility on your part as a student than it does from your lecturer. No one comes to check whether you've done your homework or not. And as enticing and even relieving to some pupils as this may sound, it is precisely this kind of freedom that actually tests your maturity as a person. This kind of freedom could potentially bring your demise and failure at this university. Of course, there are very real deadlines for things like assignments and tests, but generally how far you will get at this university is really up to you. En as jy hier gaan kom net om te kuier en net om 'n groot jol te hê, gaan jy nie deurkom nie. I do believe in having some fun every now and again. It is necessary, but it's also necessary that you strike that balance. It's like getting clutch control while you moderately pressing the accelerator when you're at a robot. If you press too hard, your car will die on the spot. And if you press too softly, your car won't move. And so in terms of life in residence, I'm a very private person and I'd never stayed in hostel before, so it was very different for me. But res life is definitely very enjoyable. It's not for everyone, but it is very enjoyable. Ek het ook baie spesiale vriende in die koshuis gemaak en dis als vir my net deel van die university experience. Vir die van julle wat besluit om privaat te bly, gaan julle dit ook geniet. Baie van my vriende het private blyplekke en hulle is baie gelukkig net so. And just like I said earlier, you make your university experience. To conclude my talk tonight, I just want to let all the parents know that this is the kind of university you want your children to go to. There are endless opportunities for students to become useful to themselves, useful to their parents, and especially useful to this country. I could have gone to any other university, Rhodes, UCT, Pretoria, Wits, anywhere. But I chose to come here because this is where I belong. I know that I can make a difference here, and I see myself as a social agent, one who changes the entrenched perceptions of social groups and contributes to those around me positively. Even though there are still certain issues that this university needs to deal with, like the language debate and the race issue, this is the place where any student who's looking for a worthwhile university experience wants to be. I personally don't see the point of attending a university that has no spunk and drama. Why not come to a place where there's constantly intelligent and critical discourse? Why not go to a place where there'll be division and unity, where there's English and Afrikaans? Why go to a comfortable place where you can't add much or take much away? And I'm not at all trying to belittle the other institutions in this country. They're all good, but Stellenbosch is better. And Stellenbosch is a unique place to be in. I see this place as my university. And to the prospective students, if you're going to come here, please make sure that you make yourself well aware of the sacrifices that will be made either by your parents or whoever will be paying your school fees in order for you to attend this prestigious institution. You must take ownership of your future. It really is a priceless opportunity. Thank you.